This is the very latest release from Ganzo Firebird, the FH71, and today is going to be my initial impression, first look, whatever the heck you want to call it. I just got this thing. Hey, how you doing? My name is Jay, and if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel, and consider clicking on subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. Let's quickly go ahead and do those size comparisons so you can get a good idea of the size of this knife, and we'll start out with, of course, the Spyderco PM2, and followed by the Para 3. How about a Benchmade? It is the Bug Out. I should probably show you another Ganzo Firebird knife, the FH13. And lastly, this, this key comparison, the Civivi Wyvern. Now I say key comparison for a reason, because you can see this FH71, it really does, it almost feels like, this is their attempt at the Civivi Wyvern. I mean, what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. I was also thinking that this would be like just a great opportunity for me to, I want to take you through the steps of how I assess a brand new knife. Right when I get it out of the box, exactly this is what I do. Usually my first step is that I have to sop up all of, well, really the oil spill that this knife had on it when it left the manufacturing plant, but I didn't have to do it here, so we'll move on to the next step, which is checking the centering. Yep. Oh, and this one looks pretty good. Then I go ahead and I check the scales out very, very closely, just because I'm looking for any kind of imperfections, any scratches or chips or whatever. Now, for safety reasons, I go ahead and then I check like the spine here of the handle, just to see if I can feel any part of that sharpened edge, or any part of like the tip. And yep, I do feel, actually, I kind of have to jam my finger in there sideways, but I can just barely feel the tip of that blade. I also go ahead and check for like any kind of like rattling or any noises by shaking the knife, or like I'll drop it just a couple times. And because what that does is I'm just trying to listen for something that could potentially be maybe like a loose screw. Now it's time. Now we get to check the action. Oof. Flipper tab deployment, very nice. Let's see, she drop closed? Oh yeah, she does. And can I do that thumbnail closure? Yes. Oh, very nice. Now, after opening and closing the knife probably a million times, I go ahead and I take a look at the lockup percentage. So you can see here with these nested liners, what are we at? Ooh, that's pretty early. Let's call that about 15%. And I also need to see, okay, so is there any blade play in any direction, just to see if I can feel like just the slightest tick. And nope, no, nothing like that going on. It's also really important you closely want to check the blade for like any kind of imperfections on the blade, like on the grind and on the edge. Look for like any kind of chips, and if there's any divots on the blade steel, any low spots on the grind. Happy to report nothing like that going on here. We should probably check that plunge grind and see how well Ganzo executed this sharpening choil, since it is clearly not a forward finger choil. Ooh, that looks pretty darn good. Oh yeah, well done. Now, something recently that I honestly just started doing was checking to see if there's any kind of like detent play when the blade is closed. So I'll push on the flipper tab, and then I'll have my thumb like on the spine of the blade, and all you're doing is just looking to see if there's any kind of movement, because there should not be, obviously, when it's in the closed position. Now, a lot of these steps I will, I'll multitask and check a bunch of these steps at the same time but for the sake of the video, I'm just wanted to do it in like a kind of a listicle sort of format. So right now I'm checking to see, well, how it feels in my hand. How does the grip feel? I'll squeeze it really hard to see if there's any kind of hot spots, or maybe something that is sharp on the handle that shouldn't be. So far, no. This 71's really good, nothing like that going on. Then I want to do is check the factory sharpness. So right out of the box, just to check the edge really quick. Oh yes, yes, definitely, she is very sharp. Everything else from this point on that I do with this knife is really in preparation for the full review. Stuff like actually using it to cut things other than paper and cardboard. How does it feel in my pocket? How does it ride? Then I really like to, and then I really get into the specs, like stuff like the weight and just overall size of the knife. So far, my initial thoughts on the Ganzo FH71, honestly, it feels like it was a little bit, and I could be wrong, but it feels like it was a little bit rushed to market, because, I noticed stuff like, well, the thumb holes, which are absolutely, not even for righties. It's absolutely not even, they're not even usable. An access ramp here where they remove a little bit of material, that would have gone really a long way. And if they're meant to be functional, it's kind of a fail there. And if it is just for aesthetic purposes, okay, I guess, thank you. If you don't mind, just give me just a little bit, so I can really carry this knife, use it, just get to know it before I'm able to do my full review. But keep your eyes open for that. And if you enjoyed this video, you got any value from it, maybe just a thumbs up, and don't forget, click on subscribe. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.